The year is 2071. The moon was destroyed in galactic conflicts close to Earth and its environment was also altered. Moscow is now covered in tropical trees, while New York is completely covered in ice. Moscow's environment and populace now resemble an anti-utopian cyberpunk Brazil. People from many ethnicities and subcultures, weirdos, strange creatures, and engineering wonders live on the streets with sun-drenched surfaces. This movie shows a dystopian future in which humans coexist with aliens that crash-landed on Earth. In addition, these newcomers brought Cosmoball, a new game that has become extremely popular. Over Earth, a massive spaceship is in orbit. At the enormous extraterrestrial ship hovering over Earth, humans and aliens engage in the captivating intergalactic game known as Cosmoball. This stadium hosts competition that barely resembles modern football yet is played at breakneck speeds. The entire world halts in its tracks to watch the game when it is on. Only the athletes, as they are known, are permitted to compete due to their special abilities and capacity for control. Everyone loves Cosmoball except for Anton, an ordinary person looking for work to support his family. So, of course, our story starts with Anton staring at the graffiti wall portrait of a stunning young woman, who we later find out is Natasha, captain of the Cosmoball Earth team. He is in line to fill his water flask, but he randomly has an accident, and people steer clear of him. This is not the first time this is happening. People know him for these little bits of bad luck and keep away from him, so he doesn't have any friends. Until Anya. He meets Anya one fateful night while committing a crime. Our hero isn't exactly a villain, he's just poor. His mom has been sick for a while and relies on medicine to survive. Since Anton has been trying to get a job for months, he doesn't have any money, so he decides to steal the pills with some help from a stunning young woman who later introduces herself as Anya. The two get in trouble with the police as they run away from the crime scene. In what proceeds to be a chase down, Anton and Anya have so much fun that when they get to Anya's hideout, they talk about a lot of stuff, one being their mutual dislike for Cosmoball. Anton thinks it's a useless game. Anya agrees. The interesting thing about Cosmoball is that it's projected in the sky, regardless of the time of the day, and no electricity or TV is required. All you have to do is stare at the sky. At first, we believed Cosmoball was a scheme to keep people unfocused and distracted from their humdrum lives. At least, that's what Anton believes. He thinks he's above it all, but under questioning from Anya, we realize he's no better. Apart from his blatant crush on Natasha, he keeps up with the scores unconsciously or not. And who can blame him? It's an interesting game. Basically, there are two teams consisting of 4 players, each with the ability to teleport, which is a rare skill. It's a skill so rare that there are only 3 players on the Earth team, and they're yet to find a 3rd player. This is where Anton comes in, but he doesn't know it yet. We find out that Anya is none other than the person who has been causing unlucky things to happen to him at every turn. Even worse, we realize she's the daughter of the actual villain in this story. Her father, Cherno, has this bizarre need to eliminate the universe and, in the usual villainous charismatic fashion, has justified his intentions as part of the greater good. Anton seems to have something he wants, and his tool for getting it is his daughter. You see, the galactic war we mentioned earlier had everything to do with suppressing him. He wasn't conquered, but at least he was thrown deep into the Earth's core, where he no longer poses an upfront threat. However, it's a catch-22 situation for the world because they can't kill him without making the Earth explode, so they manage to imprison him. His instructions to his daughter were simple: get Anton's DNA to activate his evil plan and kill him before the person in charge of Cosmoball, Bello, finds him. Luckily for Anton, all those years of her watching him had made her truly fond of him, so she couldn't kill him. At first, the key to getting what Cherno wants from Anton is to get him to teleport. Apparently, when Anton was a baby, Cherno found a way to inject him with a gene that would later free him from his prison. This gave him teleportation skills that came to light when Anya almost hit him with a truck camouflaged as a man. Anton teleporting put him on Bello's radar, and by the time he got home, the entire Cosmoball team was waiting for him. Even though he didn't know how to activate teleportation, we see him do it a few times due to his proximity to his longtime crush, Natasha. This tells us his feelings or emotional state might affect this skill. Seizing the opportunity, Anton makes a deal with Bello. He'll join their silly Cosmoball team if they heal his mother. Bello comes from a far more advanced planet and could easily heal her, but there are rules prohibiting the interference of civilizations with less technology. He promises to cure her anyways, and they have a deal. Before walking out, Anton hears Bello tell Natasha they still can't heal his mother, and he becomes upset. While dealing with his new position on the Cosmoball team, a small boy beckons him, telling him Anya wants to see him. She meets with him, and taking advantage of his feelings of resentment, she gives him a plant that would poison the stadium. You see, the stadium is protected by a plant named dandelion, and unknown to Anton, this plant actually keeps the audience protected. Bello decides to test Anton's skills at Cosmoball and training, but first, he needs a Sponix. We find out that it's some sort of droid with feelings and intelligence, an extension of its owner made from the same blood and DNA. Anton finds it really creepy due to his fear of lizards and doesn't bond as quickly with them. During practice, however, Anton excels quickly and is obviously superior to his team members. Bello is so impressed that he says Anton can start playing the next game immediately. The D-Day arrives, and Anton's debut excited the crowd. Earth had a complete team for the first time in years. But Anton had other plans. He dropped the poisonous substance Anya gave him, went to the Cosmoball field, and sat on the floor in protest of Bello lying about his mother. Realizing what is at stake, Bello comes clean. Turns out Bello and Natasha already healed Anton's mother without the Galactic Council's approval just so Anton could be on the team. And why did he go to such lengths? Because Cosmoball isn't just a game, it's war. He explains that the flaming balls we see aren't simulations but actual nuclear weapons of destruction that can only be decimated by 5 athletic kicks. They're Cherno's weapons, and to protect people of the world, Bello and the Galactic Council turned it into a game to keep people entertained so they could continue with their everyday lives. Realizing his arrogance and how badly he had misjudged the situation, he runs to the spot where he dropped the poison. Unfortunately, the dandelion has been compromised, which means they're all in trouble, and he must find a way to save the audience. Freaking out, he runs to the middle of the stadium, trying to tell everyone that they're not safe when all hell breaks loose. Luckily, it seems Bello was prepared for such an incident because the audience immediately got discharged, leaving the athletes to focus on tackling the Cosmoball. When they finally accomplish this, his team members find out Anton had poisoned the dandelion and was responsible for the outbreak. Meanwhile, on Earth, people begin panicking, and Anton has plans to redeem himself, but Anya cuts that short when she takes him to her lair. She paralyzes Anton with a purple powdery substance and reveals her true alien form. He professes her fondness for him and how she hoped they would be together if he hadn't messed things up. Then she kills him, but not before collecting the genetic sequence her father wanted. She hands it over to him through their holographic communication device, and he activates his escape plan. He injects a green substance into what looks like an egg, and a huge white creature is born. This creature seems to act as a spaceship of sorts and shoots multiple Cosmoballs at once. Cherno is excited. Victory is so close he can taste it, but Anton Sponix finds him, almost dies in the process of healing him, and Bello finds him in that state. Natasha tells him that the Sponix saved his life, and Anton, feeling grateful, becomes determined to nurse him back to health. Meanwhile, it's war out there. Cherno's Cosmoballs aren't slowing down, so the athletes are doing what they can to defuse the situation. Forming a circle, they keep kicking and passing the balls until each one gets exhausted. The youngest athlete, Fan, is quickly becoming weak though, so Anton goes to replace her, but he does something very odd. He decimates the Cosmoballs with just one kick. Everyone is amazed, which gives them the courage to fight even harder, but the war isn't even close to being over. Bello and Natasha decide to confront Cherno, and it's in this scene we learn that Bello actually created Cherno but neglected him in Cherno's bid to prove himself worthy. He gets carried away with his superiority and now wants to destroy the entire universe. Anton also ends up in Cherno's spaceship, and even though he's stunned to see him alive, Cherno easily restrains him, and Natasha then kills Bello. All hope seems lost until Anton, realizing he's made of the same genes as the creature serving as Cherno's spaceship, connects with him. He realizes he's just a kid, and they bond. Drawing strength from this bond, the creature destroys all that Cherno holds dear and eventually kills him. The war is over, and everyone is safe. The moon is no longer destroyed. Anton's mom is fine. Natasha takes over Bello's position, and Anton introduces everyone to the creature who saved their lives. All is well. However, towards the end of the movie, we find out that Anya could, in fact, still be alive. Would she turn a new leaf or follow in her father's footsteps? We can only wonder. What do you think of this movie? Tell us in the comments.